you go back to your hometown, and I love my hometown.
Yeah.
But I go back there and I, go listen to bands. I'm like, I'm so glad I'm where I'm at.
Well, I've been here about 12 years now. And the first thing I noticed, because you're right, small town, which is where I was, and you come here and, maybe you're in your hometown and they're singing the national anthem in a ball game or whatever. And I'm like, oh, dear Lord. Yeah. You come here. I don't care if it's a high school game. The talent of people singing. I'm like, what is going on? Is there any bad singers here?
I don't think so. You can order a pizza and he'll be singing at your door. And you're like, okay.
Yeah, really.
It's crazy.
Well, the weird thing when I don't know where I was. I don't know if you remember the old Two Hippie store in the Gulch back then. I'm like, what do you got a stage here for? And it was like, in case somebody wants to play.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about this town. You'll see stages at gas stations.
This is a walking, breathing Elvis movie. It's like a song's going to break out everywhere you turn.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, would you be up for playing another one for us? Or to put you on the spot?
Yeah,
or
I can do
play
another
tune
one.
And come back and you can play it if I can give you a break here between, or if you're ready. All right. That's cool. Well, this is going to be great. So if you'd like to go to this show, there are tickets available, right, Steve? Okay. And it's the Cumberland Heights annual fundraising benefit concert at Ryman Auditorium. And it's all happening on Wednesday night. And again, lots of singer-songwriters. I'm going to be out there too. Hippie Radio is going to be there. And if you want to talk over, why don't you grab Ira's mic real quick there, Steve? We'll talk a little bit more. How did this concert come about?
This is the 29th year for the concert. And it actually, I think, was the brainchild of a gentleman named Walt Quinn and John Hyatt were two of the folks that really helped us get this rolling. And Walt had been a long-time musician as well as manager in the music business. And, Cumberland Heights is a nonprofit, which means we all of our fundraising and all of our growth and building is done through fundraising and donations. And
so this is a really important fundraiser.
This is absolutely an important fundraiser. And this one is aimed specifically, these funds that are raised will go to our adolescent and young men's program, which is just a group that are in critical need, as we discussed in the last segment. So this allows us to really try to help make treatment accessible to as many people as possible. In the founding of Cumberland Heights, local businessman Rob Crichton and Dr. Thomas Frist, who ultimately the Frist family is well known here in Nashville and Hospital Corporations of America. But Mr. Crichton got with his buddy Dr. Frist and said, we need a place. He had been familiar with a place up in Minnesota. He said, we need that here. We need to create a place that's accessible to the people, to the middle class. And we have held that mission ever since then and continued to build and add on, not so much to get bigger, but to broaden and deepen our services for people.
Well, and to put this show together and to actually get access, it's not easy to get into the Ryman. And to have it at that special place is a pretty big deal.
We're the longest running fundraising event at the Ryman.
And you were at the Ryman before the Ryman was cool. Wait a minute, the Ryman was always cool.
The Ryman, but Broadway looked a little different 29 years ago, and perhaps
Ryman was off Broadway at that point. Yeah,
it was very much the walk to your car was a little dicier back then, but at any rate, the Ryman have been such great supporters and hosts for us, and we're so grateful for the role that they have played.
Yeah.
And so for us to get to have this event there every year, as you know, as Ira knows, sometimes the guests that we have come in from around the country to join us can't believe that we are in that hallowed space and the Mother Church of Country Music. So it's we're really grateful to have that venue and the city of Nashville to help show us off and for us to show our community off a little bit.
And the Ryman helps draw these amazing singer-songwriters. So if we're going to go ahead and make room again for Ira Dean to come in, and sorry to put you on the spot there, dude. I should have told you maybe we'd love to hear a couple from you. So we're just kind of hanging. We've got till 10, so we're just going to kind of, hang out and play. And so here is Ira Dean and another tune here on Hippie Radio 94.5.
like flying on the old town square, like ticking on the old town hall. It took hard work and Jesus to get what you need, and in a quarter to make you recall. Home was just an old farmhouse, love was just a town away, and the freedom I needed was a no bench seat in that 3 on the tree Chevrolet. Ain't saying that I wanna go back there, ain't like I don't love what I have here. I'm just sipping and sifting through some long lost memories. Life moves on and times are changing. Don't get me wrong, Lord, I ain't complaining. I ain't sitting here wishing life turned out different for me. I'm just missing how it used to be. Supper frying on a 4-top stove, Mama dancing with the radio, to Neil Diamond and Elvis with a smile that would tell us the second when Daddy got. Didn't have to lock your old screen door, leave your keys in your truck in town. It was God, country, family, and I still think it can be a little more like it was right now. I ain't saying that I wanna go back there, ain't like I don't love what I have here. I'm just sipping and sifting through some long lost memories. Life moves on and times are changing. Don't get me wrong, Lord, I ain't complaining. I ain't sitting here wishing life turned out different for me. I'm just missing how it used to be. Missing how it used to be. Oh, life moves on and times are changing. Don't get me wrong, Lord, I ain't complaining. I ain't sitting here wishing life turned out different for me. I'm just missing how it used to be. Missing how it used to be.
Ira Dean, Trick Pony. What a good tune, man.
Oh, thanks,
you.
man. That's a new one. I was lucky enough, they gave me a call. I produced Aaron Lewis's last 2 records over at Big Machine, and a label called me up and said, when are you going to make a record? And I thought they were joking. One of those phone calls.
You never know, man.
Anyways, I said, I'll do a record if I can go in and make music with the guys I've always wanted to write with and play with and change my musical compass. So I called a bunch of my friends on this record: Ronnie Dunn, Vince Gill, John Osborne from Brother Osborne, Steve Ferroni from Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Gary Allen, Gretchen Wilson, David Lee Murphy, Ted Nugent. Ted played on it.
Crazy Ted, man. He's wild, man.
The Motor City Madman. We had a great time. Matter of fact, we just celebrated a #1 together. We had a #1 on iTunes with What Would Charlie Daniels Do? So,
yeah.
So Ted had his first #1 plaque in country music. So
it's so funny, Ira, because the more musicians I talk to and songwriters and people like yourself, it doesn't matter what you play. I mean, these guys could be playing ukuleles and banjos and come from a completely different genre. And everybody's like so appreciative of the talent they bring, because you need it all. You never know when you'll need this or that. And when you can pick up the phone and do that, it's pretty cool.
Man, I love everything I've got. The good, the bad, the ugly, the blessed, the broken has been from music, and I love it. I can't imagine doing anything else.
Yeah, we played one earlier this morning, and it was nice to see Steven Tyler singing again a little bit. I know he was off for a long time, but him and Joe Perry, and they needed a banjo for the end of their tune, and they grabbed Steve Martin, and he played it, and he sent it to him. He couldn't do it in the studio, and that's, I guess one of the upsides of the whole COVID mess was we were able to figure out how we can get pieces and parts of things that we really needed that used to take months. Or I think Night Moves was recorded in LA, and Seeger wasn't there for like another 6-8 months. That record took 2-3 years because they just couldn't, you had to be there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. And I still love, I mean, on my record, we all got together.
Yeah.
That's the part of the music I love about it. It's, you got to get in the room. Music's meant to be shared together. And just like I feel the same way about sobriety, you know, I don't want to phone that in either. I like getting out there and meeting people and telling my story and trying to help and let them know that there is life after that. And it's a heck of a lot better. And so when I got the call to do the Cumberland Heights thing at the Ryman, of course I want to do that. It's a great facility and it's beautiful and everything, but the staff there is second to none. And that's just great.
Well, I can't thank you enough for getting up at Dark 30 to come in and do this. It shows your dedication and your appreciation for Cumberland Heights.
Anything I can ever do.
And Ira's going to be on stage Wednesday night at Ryman. You're not going to want to miss it. The couple of tunes he just played for us is just a snippet. I mean, you can just tell the talent that Ira has, and all of his fellow singer-songwriters are going to be there. So we're really looking forward to it. Encourage people to go to ryman.com and get your tickets now. And I want to say hey to everybody on Facebook and YouTube that's watching and enjoying this with us this morning. We're going to come back in a little bit. And we're going to have Walter Egan, Mr. Magnet and Steel, who also does the show Walt's Record Vault here every Sunday night on Hippie Radio, and talk to Steve from Cumberland a little more. So we're just going to hang out through about 10 o'clock. Now, I know there's people out there waiting for the keyword on the $1,000 Super Cash game brought to you by Hippie Radio 94.5 and the Gold Rush Store. I haven't forgotten. We're going to play that keyword for you. We'll tell you what it is in just a little bit right here on Hippie Radio 94.5. Thanks again, Ira, for being here.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Hippie Radio 94.5. Man, sorry about that. I don't want to cut off Paul Simon, but it's kind of going crazy here in the studio, and loads of fun. But I forgot the keyword, and I told you I wouldn't forget it. So Hippie Radio 94.5 in the Gold Rush Store give you a chance to win $1,000 in the $1,000 Super Cash game. And this morning's keyword is bank, BANK. So all you have to do is text that to 508-777-1000. Bank 508-777-1000, and you could win $1,000 from the Gold Rush Store at Hippie Radio 94.5. All right, Paul, bring it again. Here we go. Pat Benatar, Hippie Radio 94.5, and loves Battlefield. Yeah. So's marriage and engagements and everything else. But anyway, it's Nashville's morning show as we continue to hang out this morning with some great singer-songwriters. And I'm very excited to hang with Walter Egan. Walt's been a part of Hippie over a year plus now,
year and a half.
Yeah? Has it been?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, my
gosh. But who's
counting?
counting?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you know what? It'd probably be better if I turn on your mic. There you go. What? Hey, there you are.
Hey.
How's it going?
All right. Hey.
Man, your voice sounds vaguely familiar.
Yeah.
So Walt and I have been hanging out a lot, producing his show. And how many Walt Record Vault shows?
I think last night was 76.
That's crazy.
I know. And
I told people how this all happened,
so I would be here on time.
Yeah. So thanks for coming in, Walt. Walt's going to be on stage too at the Ryman on Wednesday night as a part of the Cumberland Heights show, and also has a show here on Hippie. But so why don't you tell them how you were Hippie's biggest critic, and that's how you got a show.
All right. Well, I've been here. I've been a Nashville native now since 1997, all the way back in the other century. And when I'm not doing music and being a musical idol, I am.
And by the way, a yacht rocker that you didn't even know you were.
Well, we'll get into that. Yeah. But yeah, the way that as a musician, I found that being a substitute teacher is a very good job because you can work when you want to. And if you get music going, you go out of town, you do what you got to do, come back. And to keep the wife happy, you have a paycheck every couple of weeks.
That's right. And it's not only mailbox money, there's other money too.
So I've been a sub at Centennial High School in Franklin now, almost as long as I've been in town. So like 28 years.
That, that makes you really smart. So you must be smart enough if you're a substitute teacher too, because that's actually where I had heard, you know how it is in this town. People just kind of talk, well, Walter Egan or Mr. Egan, as they call you there.
Yeah.
Because my son went there for a bit.
I know. I remember, Braden.
Yeah.
So one morning, waiting to go in and do my job, I was listening to Hippie Radio, as I do, and you played Magnet and Steel, and I was like, well, that's great. This is like must be my day. It's cosmic, man.
That's right.
And so I sent you a flattering email saying, thanks for the spin. Keep up the good work. And you answered.
I did. Oh, thank you.
I didn't even... I didn't expect that. And you said, come on in and then let's talk. So, I came in and as we did the interview, I had to bring it up, the fact that, why do you call it Hippie Radio? You're not playing a lot of hippie music, in my opinion.
Well, we call him Johnny Eclectic.
I'm filling in the gaps here.
Exactly.
As I like to say, I bring the hip back to hippie. And, counterculture you can count on. I've got a bunch of them. But and I was thinking I could do maybe a couple of shows to fill in the gap.
You had, how many did you have in your head? Like 10 shows or something?
Well, not even that many. I thought maybe 2 or 3, maybe 4.
And I'm like, look, Walt, we can't just put a show on for 2 or 3 ideas. We got to
do it for a year.
And I was hoping for 6 months, and it's amazing. You're like, well, I don't know. And then you came back and you're like, well, what about this idea and this idea? And you really kind of brainstormed and man, off you went. I mean, the theme show, all of Walt's shows have kind of a theme.
Well, somewhere in between, the theme show, Theme Time Radio that Dylan did. Yeah. And when I grew up in New York, there was a guy named Don K. Reed who did the doo-wop shop every Sunday night. So there's that niche, that Sunday night niche when the weekend's almost over, but you're not really ready to let go of it. And And so perfectly, that's where you thought it would fit. So.
Well, plus, Walt's relationships over the years, I mean, you pretty much know everybody in the music business. So the stories you can tell is, it's not only, sure, is it a little eclectic and it's hippie music, and Walt and I have different versions of that. And that's because we're different generations. But to me, it's a pretty educational show because there's things that you bring to the table that people don't. I didn't know what the Brill Building was. I'm some dude from the Midwest. I'm like, what the hell's a Brill Building? I thought all music came out of Nashville or LA. Wrong. Well, and you did 3 shows on Brill, was it?
The Brill Building was a vital part of what I thought of the arc of pop rock from the 50s into the Beatles and then beyond, which is where my hippie show usually resides.
Yeah.
And songwriters, the reason I moved to Nashville is because of being a songwriter. Really? I got a guitar when I was 15, And by the time I was 16, I was writing songs. It was just, too boring to do scales all the time. So I was like, well, maybe I'll just write a song. And I had a good friend in high school named Johnny Z, who also was starting to write songs at that time. So we had a good kind of sounding board for one another.
And did you guys start a band in high school?
Yeah, well, I grew up in New York, in Queens, New York, and we had a surf band in Manhattan.
Okay.
And so, it was
Beach Boys.
The appeal of California was always big for me, and the music and the movies and the whole culture.
Yeah, but you still sort of stayed on the school path, because then you go to DC.
Well, yeah.
And you go to college. Look at you. And then, so were you in, you were out, and then you got on the road and hopped in a van and drove out west?
Well, the trick was most of the band went to the same college. So we kept the band more or less intact. I wound up going to Georgetown University in DC, which to me was the South at that point.
Yeah,
I was like,
anything outside
I'm in
of
the
New
South.
York.
Yeah. And little did I know where I'd be. And the band kept going, and the songwriting kept going. But I went to college to be a writer, but I thought I would be some other kind of writer. And then they didn't give me the advanced placement English credit that I was supposed to get. I wound up having to take freshman English, which wasn't really fun.
No.
And alienated. I was alienated when I was a freshman. I was like,
and the rebellious nature started.
And this was coincidentally, I guess is the word. I started college in 66. So 66 to 70, is that not hippie time? And of course, I was on the radio at Georgetown too.
Of course. So, well, that's why I was wondering. I'm like, he sounds like he could have been on the radio.
Yeah.
So you worked at the college radio station?
I did. WGTB.
There you go.
90.1.
I love it.
Yeah. And so, it all sort of came together when.
But you saw a lot of artists. I mean, you were kind of a concert freak too, because you went from place to place watching these guys. Didn't matter where they were. I mean, you saw Hendrix. You saw people. Not a lot of people can say they've seen the things you've seen. You went to Woodstock too?
I was at Woodstock, for the middle hours. We got there Saturday morning and left in the middle of
the rainstorm
Sunday early morning. It was just, okay, we've been here enough. So, but growing up in New York, you got to see a lot of concerts. I saw the Beatles at Carnegie Hall. I saw the Beatles at Forest Hills. I saw the Beatles at Shea Stadium. So, that was a good start. I was supposed to see the Stones at Carnegie Hall, but they had more than one show, and I didn't look at the ticket, and I showed up as my show was letting out.
No.
Yeah. And that was in 64. And
how ticked were you? What were the tickets like?
Ticked.
$8-10? I don't know what they were.
They were $5. Yeah.
$5 for the Stones.
I know. Well,
no, it's $5,000 for the Stones.
Was $550, and Sid Bernstein was the promoter of that show. And I wound up meeting Sid about 10 years ago. Okay. And he's such a great guy, a really funny guy. And I was saying, I was at Shea Stadium, man, but those tickets, $550, man. I was sitting 10 rows from the top of Shea Stadium. And Sid reached for his wallet. He was like, here, let me get, he was a great guy.
That's
he was
awesome.
A funny guy. But getting to see all those people. I saw Hendrix before he was Hendrix, when he was Jimmy James and the Blue Flames playing around New York City.
You tell me something about he smashed his guitar and you went, do you have it or do you have?
Well, I did.
What is that story?
At the Cafe Go-Go, a very small club, about as big as the studio. Jimmy was playing, and this probably was 67.
Mm-hmm.
And
word was
it was the week
out,
after he burned his guitar at Monterey.
Oh, okay.
And so he got to the end of his set and he went, I don't have my asbestos pants on tonight. So, and then he decided to shove his guitar through the ceiling. It was a low ceiling like this, and destroyed his guitar right there in front of me. I was, maybe as close as I am to you.
That small, yeah.
Yeah, and so I was like, oh my God. And there was one of his strings after the set, and I picked it up. I had Jimmy's G string, and so.
That's awesome.
It was
literally you had his G string.
Legendary time, and I've been very fortunate. I mean, I was at college when I was a freshman at college. The dorm monitor, the junior class monitor, was Bill Clinton, who
no way
was not playing much sax, but from friends of mine were friends with him.
Yeah.
I never really got to know him very well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's a crazy thing. I actually wrote a book during the COVID years. I've been told that it's too long.
It is? You're actually a really good writer. I mean, Walt writes out all his shows.
We may find out that I am a little bit too wordy on Wednesday night when we do this show. But I mean, I do have a lot of stories, and I've been very fortunate to be involved with a lot of excellent people. When I got my record deal back in '76, I did a hoot night at the Troubadour out in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
And
Is that where you met Lindsay?
Well, no, but at the time, I wanted to use like someone like Todd Rundgren as my producer. We had to have a producer. And I had been doing demos at this little funky studio called Sound City, which went on to be more famous thanks to Dave Grohl and a lot of other great acts. And my engineer, Dwayne Scott, said, well, how about Buckingham Nicks for your producers? And I was like, who is that? Is that a guy? I mean, there was a guy named...
But did they just have their first album? I remember the album
There was a guy named Don Nicks at the time who did like Southern rock. And I thought, is this connection to... No, it's not Don Nicks. Here, listen to this record. Buckingham Nicks. The album had come out about 2 years before this. And in the meantime, they had joined that British blues band. I can't think of the name right now. But yeah, Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
And so basically when they produced my album, that was the first thing they did outside of Fleetwood Mac.
Okay,
and
so they had already joined Fleetwood Mac. By the time
they were in Fleetwood Mac for about a year, a little over a year and a half. Because they did that first album, I think, within a week. And then...
That blows my mind. You mean with Say You Love Me and all those?
That was what they called the White Album. And then they did Rumors after that.
Yeah, right.
And they were working on Rumors when I met them. And the caveat was, well, you're going to have to work around the Fleetwood Mac schedule to do your record. And I was like, well,
it was really funny because, I was listening to Rumors not that long ago, and you forget how many tunes Lindsay's lead on. A lot.
Yeah. Well,
a ton of them.
Well, they wanted Lindsay. They didn't, they didn't really want Stevie in the beginning.
Yeah.
And, famously, Lindsay said, if you want me, you got to have my girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, we won't get into all that soap opera stuff.
But it's great that
Walt has a lot of inside stories on that, and we won't even discuss your.
Well, in fact, I think I'm going to play this one tune that. We had done the first album, Fundamental Role, and during that recording, Stevie had. Well, there were a couple of nights, and one night was the night she sang backgrounds on a song of mine called "Tunnel of Love." Mm-hmm. Way before old Springsteen did a song with that name. And I was very inspired.
You were smitten as well.
I was smitten by the kitten. And by the time I got home, I had written the lyrics to...
which was really to Stevie.
To the
or about her.
It is. Right? She's a woman who's lost to her song.
Yeah.
Excuse me. When I fall into your
No
microphone.
no worries. So,
Anyway, but then also she played me a song called Sisters of the Moon. She said, well, if Fleetwood Mac doesn't want to do this, so I said, well, I'll do it.
Yeah.
Anything.
If you'll go out with me.
Score some points.
Exactly.
Stevie, don't you know? Yeah. Anyway, so so I was doing it in my live show in '77, touring behind my first album. Came time to do the second album. And at this point, it was just Lindsay producing. Stevie was just going to add her vocals on things.
Yeah.
And we were running it down in the studio, and Lindsay came out and he went, hey, what's this tune? I said, well, you guys didn't want to do Sisters of the Moon. I told Stevie I'd do it. It'd be a great song to end the album with. And he said, no, I don't think that's a good idea. He said, I think you can write another. So I went home that night under Lindsay's order and tried to write what would be the climax of the album. Of course,
yeah.
You remember vinyl where the second side was supposed to end with a big tune.
Yeah.
And so this was going to be the big tune. I started thinking, it was the middle of the summer. I started thinking about how summertime meant more time to do music in high school when I had really discovered that I loved playing music in the Malibus with my friend Johnny Z. And so I wrote a song about being in a band and how, it becomes almost a family and you share all these experiences.
So you wrote it that night.
And I wrote it that night. It was less than 24 hours old when I recorded it the next morning. And it's gone on to become the most covered song that I've ever written. There's been like 5 or 6 different versions, different languages. There's a Swedish version called Flott Summer Dag. And there've been a couple of
Flott Summer Dag is Hot Summer Nights. Okay, now that I know.
Yeah, you know, and then someone said, no, it's Norwegian. I said, I don't know. But there have been a couple of French versions. Van de Levla is one of them, and Japanese version, a German version. And then there was a hit version. My version was the follow-up to the big song, The Big Magnet and Steel. But Columbia Records decided to hold it until fall became winter. And I thought, this is odd, since it's
Hot Summer Nights.
It's a summer song, you know. And so my version stalled out in the mid-chart. And then the following year, 1979, a group called Night did it. It was the first release for Richard Perry's label, Planet Records, with this group that was basically a Fleetwood Mac clone called Night, Night. And I think it should be on your playlist here in Hippie. I know
he's been bucking for that for a while.
You know, it's not. It made top 20.
He never lets up on me.
It made top 20.
He's on me all the time.
It made top 20.
All right. Well,
anyway, so it's a song called Hot Summer Nights, and it goes like this. Was a time not too far gone when I was changed by just that song on the radio in the car with a pounding electric guitar. Then the time came to make our stand. We started up that 4-piece band, and the heat felt like spotlights in the heart of a hot summer night, yeah. Ooh, hot summer night, yeah. Return with me to when times were past. We were friends that could pass any test. We shared our hopes and dreams and our goals. You know what I mean, the fundamental role. As we sang in the hot, dark rooms, happy just to play our tunes. Felt good when we did it right. Felt good on a hot summer night, yeah. Ooh, hot summer nights, yeah. Ooh, hot summer nights, yeah. So it lives and it always will. The songs we've sung are in us still, ringing out loud and bright in the heart of a hot summer night, yeah. Ooh, hot summer night, yeah. Ooh, hot summer night, yeah.
All right, thank you, Walt. Hot summer nights. Thanks, man. Nice job.
Well, yeah,
pretty good for.
And I didn't mention back in 2009, my favorite rapper Eminem used my song for his comeback single "We Made You."
No way.
Yeah, previously Eminem was only my favorite Candy.
Yeah, right.
And then I had to.
World's greatest rapper.
I love
right?
it. Yeah. So
awesome.
yeah, it's weird how. Anyway, so the moral of the story is, if Lindsay says go write a song, it's probably a good idea to do that. You know.
And then you took his girlfriend, but we'll move on.
Only briefly, but yeah, the muse that is Stevie Nicks. Yeah, she's such an icon. It's amazing that she's a Barbie doll now too.
I know. I just heard that. Was Belladonna Barbie dolls coming out? But is it? It's a great album cover. I mean, let's be honest. I mean, she is beautiful. So anyway, we're in the studio with Walter Egan, and we're talking about the Cumberland Heights annual fundraising benefit concert coming up on Wednesday night. Walt's going to be on stage along with a lot of other great singer-songwriters. So Walt, thanks for helping do this. We're going to come back and talk a little more, maybe play another tune for us, brother.
Yeah, we could do that.
Appreciate it. Right here on Hippie Radio 94.5. Lot number 15.